salutations. Random, not so random thoughts in this moment. Just kind of taking in, all of the different things that are happening right now, right? So many things are moving, so many things are happening so quickly, right? I was listening to what's the handle? I think like this cipher or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, like I was listening to one of his videos and just kind of a lot of the points that he was making, and I think it's really important that we are paying attention to the things that are happening. There's so many things that are being thrown at us at once that it can be hard to keep up, but it's important that we're paying attention and connecting different dots. And I think I'm gonna just like maybe tag or put his like handle in the caption so that you can go check out his videos, because I can't really regurgitate all of what it is that he said. That's not how I process information, so definitely checking him out and listening for yourself and seeing what you think, because you might respond to it differently than me, right? But just the idea of the things that are happening around the world, here in the US, with regards to DC, and with ICE and all the different things that are taking place, and the different laws that are being passed, and the actions that are being taken, and the moves that are being made by the people in power, that are kind of just giving them more and more power over the people, right? And it's getting to a point where that like point of no return. Well, there is no point of no return, right? There is always a path to come back, right? Light will never be defeated. Just trust that, right? But we're getting to a point where it's important that we are awake to the things that are happening, that we're paying attention, that we are following along, and we're preparing ourselves, right? And then also, I've made a couple videos about like Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, right? And I stand by the idea of allowing ourselves to listen to voices that we disagree with. And I think it's also important for us to open ourselves up to looking at other points of view, also to understand, like, I don't know, the words aren't coming out the way that I'm thinking them in my brain. But recognizing when information that is highly sensitive, like looking at like the Epstein files, and that information that could implicate a lot of people in power, right? When that information is accessible, right? When we are able to be privy to that information, a lot of times, that's not by accident, right? They are allowing us to get some information in order to satiate that desire that we have to crack whatever code it is, to make us feel like we're getting a few steps further. But understanding that it is also very possible that these truths that are being revealed are being revealed at a specific time to destroy distract us from other things, right? So that we're not looking at what is happening to us right now. Because I've watched a few conversations, debates or whatever, between Nick Fuentes and a couple other people. There was one with Andrew Tate and another one with Alex Jones. The first one I watched was the one with Alex Jones. I still haven't finished it, but it was meant to be a debate about different things that are currently happening. I don't know if it ever got to the debate, but majority of the conversation, I watched maybe up to 40 minutes in, I think I continued watching. And it was just rehashing all the things that are happening with Candace Owens, with Tucker Carlson, and almost in a way to try to tidy up their image, to make sure that people aren't, looking at them side-eye, And it's perfectly fine for us to look at anybody's side-eye. We should be looking at everybody's side-eye, right? There is no one. We cannot look to anyone and trust that they are 100% legit, right? We have to question things. We have to allow ourselves to be open to questioning things. Just because we like someone, I love Candace, right? I love this show. I love her. I love the way she storytells, and I appreciate the information that she provides, right? That remains true. But at the same time, I think it's healthy to question, right? To question motives, to question intentions, to question narratives that seem to be forming and being created, right? I think it's important for us to do that, to question, and to notice that that's what's becoming the conversation, right? The conversation is about the infighting, about the beef, about the drama, about the entertainment, right? And it's not talking about the substance, right? So, for me, when that happens, it kind of okay, why is this the conversation now? What are we being distracted away from, right? And I personally, I don't have, and it's kind of in the video, with Andrew Tate actually, and he kind of expressed it too, and when he said it, I was I feel exactly that. I feel exactly that. The idea that I'm not necessarily well versed on all the information, all the ins and outs. I don't have the facts and the figures to give you. I kind of just operate mostly on feels. I go by what it is I'm feeling in the moment. And I trust that, and I trust that even if it turns out that, there was narratives being created and whatever, it's still important that I have invested some energy to be able to see that, right? To be able to fully see the depths of this deep state, right? The idea of the deep state, or whatever it is, and the lengths that they will go to cover up information in order, whenever we're distracted from something else is being done, right? That generally is going against our freedoms, right? Generally works against the autonomy that we have over our movements, over our actions, over our words, right? So it's just important that we are paying attention, and always asking questions. No matter how much you love someone that is on a screen talking to you, no matter how trustworthy they feel or seem, myself included, anyone, right? Trust the voice that's coming from within you, right? You're always going to be guided to the information that's meant for you, right? I trust that. But trust yourself to discern, right? And trust that any information that is coming in at the right time. But sometimes it might come to a point where you realize that the person that is providing that information maybe had some different motives, you know? Just holding that awareness, right? And not judging, you know, not judging ourselves within that, not judging what's happening outside, trusting that the information that we got, good, and the wisdom that we get from the lesson, right? It's lessons in discernment. But yes, again, allowing the information from all of that to unfold, but at the same time recognizing that we can't like focus our attention on that. Like that can't be what the conversation is about, you know? There's a lot happening in the world, and I think a bit more pressing than like constant squabbling. Yeah. That's just me.